Hello, hello, and welcome back to Reverse 1999. So, we finally talked to the physician, or Aleph, if you want to call him that. And now we talked about the storm. Recoleta has no idea what the storm is, poor girl. And now we're gonna see what the master of the labyrinth has to say. Within the corpse of the labyrinth's builder, he proclaims, "It is and has always been perfect." Only the steady beeping of a heart monitor keeps the eerie silence at bay.
Dr. Merlin, or should I say Aleph, I don't know why you're using my novel to manipulate the Panopticon, but you need to know that it won't serve your purpose, whether in fiction or reality. You claim that the inmates are both the observer and the observed, and both wielders and subjects of power. How could you be so blind as to not see the true state of the Panopticon? The inmates haven't achieved any perfect order. No, they've devolved into pitiful caricatures of themselves, performers in some endless pantomime to be watched from the central tower.
Okay, yeah.
Even their medication has become a prop to demonstrate the so-called randomness of fate in the theater that is the Panopticon. This farce hasn't made the Panopticon a better place. No, it has warped it into a twisted theater of cruelty, where the sick are denied treatment and left to quietly perish in the dark corners of its halls. And literature has died alongside them. This prison is a monster, born under the gaze of this all-seeing power. Aleph, is this truly the ultimate answer you've been searching for?
The physician suddenly seems startled, stepping back and accidentally knocking over stools.
What? Are you suggesting that this is the answer I've reached? That my experiment has been a failure all along, and I've been too blind to see it?
Basically, yeah.
No. Impossible. Foucault's theory is flawless.
You mean the guy who basically told everyone not to use that experiment? Having his life's work denied is something he cannot tolerate. The man searches the tabletop with feigned composure, but in doing so he unintentionally sweeps all the surgical tools into the floor.
I have removed every obstacle to the running of this prison. It is pure, sacrosanct. I have constantly re-evaluated the system, adjusting my instructions to my subordinates to ensure the most efficient maintenance of the established order. And now, you stand here and tell me that everything I've done has been meaningless from the very beginning?
Yes.
That the power model I have implemented has already been replaced by an alternative?
Exactly.
No, outsiders. The perfect order of the Panopticon shall not be disrupted. I will not be swayed by your lies.
Oh, come on, dude.
This facility is superior to all others. Nothing here escapes my notice.
Does it? Does it, though? Because the Panopticon is to create the illusion that nothing escapes the Warden's notice or the Guard's notice, not the actual power. I think you're believing your delusion a bit too much there, mate. At last, in a barely noticeable corner, he finds the 20-sided die wreathed in black mist. Wreathed? Basically drenched or embedded? I don't know.
That said, it isn't easy to work a miracle, as we all know.
There's a thing.
I shall personally verify it. All myself.
Oh boy, what the hell's happening? Okay. Oh, that's cool. All his emotions dissolve as he grips the die. Oh boy, look at that effect. It's cool as shit. I'm gonna screenshot that. The narrow operating room shakes as it responding to him, emitting the distorted screech.
What's happening?
Something bad, I'm guessing. No, I guess this is a fight.
Visitors from another era. You have come here with plagued ideologies in an attempt to break the subtle balance of the Panopticon. But did you not notice the tiles beneath your feet? The cracks and water stains on the walls, constantly changing right before your eyes.
Oh, that's not good.
This room, the previous room, every room, you have blindly wandered through them, seeing them as nothing more than the building blocks of a monotonous labyrinth. But this place was not born from the chaotic imaginings of a madman. No. Every inch has been crafted through the meticulous harnessing of order and power.
Oh no.
Every wisp of spider silk drifting in the wind. Every speck of rust on the gallery rail. Every detail of the panopticon has been built by my own hands. With this ever-shifting die, concepts may be transformed into reality, and ideals into substance. I observe the movement of every entity, the passage of every second. The moment you entered this realm, you too became subjects of my experiment.
It. Well, that sure is something, huh? Alright, I guess this team works fine.
I think I lend a hand.
Oh, that's cool.
Admit it, this is all getting out of hand.
I'm guessing this is actual Aleph and not the surgeon, the physician.
Impossible! All is under the die's control. What may appear to be chaos is nothing more than a temporary deviation.
What can be more chaotic
This
than
way,
just
please,
having a
my
dice
child.
style
This way,
fate?
please. Shh. But for your sake. A bloody handprint on broken glass. Classic.
Oh, you're dead. I'm sorry, dude.
Heed my bow, I call upon you. Knock, knock. Room service.
It's special, precise, perfect. It is far from perfect. You know that as well as I. Why else would we be conducting this experiment?
The curtain has fallen.
Not appropriate for her to say. There he goes. Everything's breaking.
This happened when the Idealist was attacked too.
To think we've been trapped in a prison fabricated by a die all this time. Did the physician really build all this with such a small, simple object?
Huh.
The distortion is getting worse. Prepare yourselves to fight or flee.
Hold on. Could this be one of these mysterious objects that that disappeared from the Foundation, like Miss Kimberly's robot and the last event movie? Huh. The situation begins to spiral out of control. Now everything in the room screeches and twists until they become a mess of meaningless black and white lines.
Please, Dr. Merlin, stop this!
No. You're asking for the impossible. Power model of the Panopticon is destined to permeate all of society. Such insignificant interferences could never plunge it into chaos.
Of course it can. It's a dumbass system.
But it already has, Merlin. You failed. I have not failed. As long as I keep the prison running.
It's collapsed. It's almost on the verge of collapse, my god. Stop deluding yourself. The physician fiddles with the die, muttering baffling and incoherent words to himself.
It isn't your power model running the prison. It's the die. It's simply a form of magic, unrelated to the microphysics of power you seek. It provides no aid in your experimentation with power. It's a false hope. A castle in the sky given to you by the military junta and Manus Vindicte.
Junta. Okay, the J reads like an H. Got it.
Manus Vindicte? So you really are working with them. What exactly do you intend to do?
So now the die was literally dripping black goo. Of course it's Manus Vindicte. That's their whole aesthetic. Oh, what's happening?
Then I've also failed.
Yes.
I've ended up a pathetic fool, lost in the chaos of reality. Just like the idealist chasing visceral realism, Paracelsus seeking the fountain of youth, and Zahir obsessing over the one-sided coin.
Yeah, I know this guy. He's in Fate Grand Order. Oh my god, I can't say that word. Fate Grand Order. Order. Damn.
When did it all start falling apart, Alan? When the doorknob loosened? When the prisoner's wounds started to fester? Or when the daily disinfectant concentration reached 28 milligrams? Or the crack in the second gray brick on the wall expanded to 6 millimeters? Or was it when Warden Tartuffe left Ushuaia with news of the Foucault Association's dissolution? This place should have been the ideal ground for psychoanalytic practice. Why did they halt all research, all discussion? We've been abandoned, haven't we? By eras old and new, he designed and have maintained everything in Kamala, right down to the smallest detail. But it is these details that trap you. And as the bars close around you, you are losing your name, Merlin. And you're becoming a physician, a man forever imprisoned within these walls. I don't understand. All these false eras are like a dreadful novel with no conclusion. Trying to find answers within such things is, in itself, a mistake. Much like them, you are destined never to attain transcendentality. Tell me, Olive, does the ultimate answer even exist?
Probably not. The die becomes too heavy for him to hold any longer. It drops to the floor. And it's back to normal. The distortions and tremors of the prison finally subside, as if the pulse of a massive heart has stopped for an instant. Amid the swirling dust, the girls help each other stand, but fail to notice the truth reveal itself to them.
Timekeeper, are you alright?
Yes. And you? And Miss Recoleta? Are you okay, Miss Recoleta?
The smoke clears, but no response. The named girl simply stares in shock at the figure before her.
You're...
The word utopia derives from Greek. It means no place.
God damn, look at this. It looks like 3 faces. We got one here, one over here, and one here. 3 people. Well, they got the hat too, we got the bandages. Oh man, this looks really cool. Holy shit.
People cannot understand the structure of the labyrinth, yet they continue to follow its paths. They cannot comprehend the mechanics of fate, yet they believe in its jurisdiction, as if, by doing so, everything will naturally fall into place. And now, the polar night approaches.
God damn, he looks so cool.
How good it is to see you, pen pal.
Damn it, I'm definitely gonna try to get him when he comes up. Alright, what's this? Hey, buddy. Does the Foundation ever actually require employees to clock in? Have you ever heard of Foucault, Soneto? Yes, he's a renowned French philosopher and social theorist. I read a book about his theories at the SPDM. So, those are precisely the kind of books they'd never confiscate. Sorry, I don't understand. Never mind that. Can you explain what you read in detail? Alright, the Foucault argued that madness isn't a natural phenomenon, but rather a cultural structure to construct. In early times, punishment was a public spectacle, a display of power for the rulers. Nowadays, things are different. After the Enlightenment, punishment became a form of public education, intended primarily to deter crime. That's true. The phrase public execution has all but disappeared from everyday language. Discipline and punishment. By that logic, the SPDM aligns closely with the Foucault's ideas. Ahem. But Deleuze believed that another model of power had replaced the disciplinary power, the power of administration, a highly effective yet indifferent system of management. The system holds control over the environment, and under the such circumstances, the individual's inner self ceases to matter. Timekeeper, is this discussion because of what the physician said? That's right. Initially, I just wanted to hear your perspective on this. Now, I'm starting to see how this model reduces the people to little more than animals. Right, Timekeeper. Huh. Okay. That's some interesting dialogue there. Chapter 14. The Mask in the Mirror. Between two mirrors hangs a single object. One face, two faces, cascading into the infinite.
Where did the physician go? Wait.
He is the physician.
Sir? Are you?
No one notices when the unfamiliar prisoner appears. He seems calm and almost ordinary, like an unchanging mirror that has stood here all along, in this room, in this labyrinth, passed between vast unseen by everyone. It is a laugh. The answer she now sees plainly makes her step back in a panic. But in the end, she says the name out loud. Its sound is heavy, cold, and leaves her at a loss.
Aleph. It's you. My pen pal. You are, in fact, in Komala. All those letters. All the ideas we shared. They weren't just my imagination or some prank. Vertin, Soneto, it's all just as I told you. They weren't meaningless. They're all real.
Yet, why does she feel no joy?
So, sir, are you Aleph, the ruler of this prison? Are you the one controlling Panopticon with the die? The one hiding Miss Dores's whereabouts?
What curious inquiries. Quite different from the last 2,666 questions I've received.
Damn, that's a lot of questions.
My guests, you may call me Aleph, or by any other name, be it a symbol of God's oneness or a farcical epithet. I am merely one of the many prisoners who voluntarily reside here. A single letter in the alphabet of the Panopticon.
Huh.
A letter? The way you speak is quite different from Dr. Merlin. Still, I wonder what your relationship is with him.
Under the dim lighting, the man looks drained from all energy.
But allow me to make a guess. You're Dr. Merlin, aren't you?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm afraid that's not entirely accurate. But you may think of it that way. Merlin is a figment born of my mind, an incomplete reenactment. He is me, yes, but not entirely. He, or rather they, failed to find their answers. They fought against their predestined fates, only to be inevitably crushed under their weight. I simply stood by and watched it all unfold. That was the extent of our relationship.
They?
You've already met Merlin and the Idealist, even witnessed their demise.
Yep.
Shackled by the delusions of verses, the Idealist lost his own name. Merlin, too, imprisoned himself within the system of the Panopticon.
Two extremes, yeah.
I'm sure their desperate pursuits caused you some trouble. Please forgive them. After all, your fleeting encounters led to the demise of them both.
I think I understand now. The Idealist and the Physician are both parts of you. Or, to put it another way, they're your alter egos.
Yeah. It seems the jailer's diagnosis that the whole prison is mad has been shown to be more accurate than anyone could have imagined.
The physician mentioned Manus Vindictae. What's the relationship between this prison and the Manus?
Visitors from the Foundation. We all witnessed those eras perish. In 1977, not long before the fourth storm, I arrived in Ushuaia. Shortly after, some members of the National Foucault Studies Association reached out to me. But it wasn't just them. An arcanist organization called Manus Vindictae also approached me. Each of them wanted answers. They named me their advisor.
You acted as an advisor to the Manus?
The two parties presented me with a concept and a parable, respectively.
A concept and a parable?
The Foucault Association sought to explore the feasibility of the panopticon concept here.
Oh, and the Manus created the idealist and gave the idea for something, and he split into the idealist and the physician. I see.
While Manus Vindictae showed me a parable of the past and future, day and night I wandered through endless texts, endless realities, as I searched for answers. And thus, Merlin was born. He was both an experiment and a price I paid, a new concept, a new direction. Pursuing such things always leaves me confined by the limitations of human knowledge. Merlin spent his entire life exploring Foucault's theories in pursuit of that singular yet infinite answer.
What about the Manus, Mr. Aleph? You didn't explain why you helped them.
Explain why? Because they asked me to.
Yeah.
Just as you have.
He's a simple dude. You just ask him something and he answers.
I simply worked to answer their questions.
So you're saying that, to you, we are no different from Manus Vindictae, and if we ask, you'll answer us, without holding anything back?
Is that not precisely what is happening this very moment?
Aleph picks up the fallen die. It flickers with a familiar, comforting glow.
This is what the Manus gave Merlin. A magical die named the Tear of Komala.
Yeah, that's probably one of the things that was missing from the Foundation.
It was once a gemstone that belonged to a god. At the beginning of the century, explorers plucked it from an ancient gate they discovered in Antarctica.
Antarctica.
To the explorers' amazement, the gemstone could turn human desires into reality.
But reality or like corrupted reality? Like a monkey's paw where you get your wish granted but it corrupts it? Or...
So they cut it into a die, a symbol of fate, and used it to build a sanatorium, which was later transformed into the panopticon you are standing in right now.
Kind of a bizarre thing. Why build a sanitarium? His words are direct, yet they still leave the outsiders perplexed.
Then, Aleph, you really are the mastermind behind the panopticon?
Indirectly, yeah, sure. The silent girl grips her notebook. Her knuckles turn white from the pressure. The draft of an unpublished novel, with words that only she knows, the countless hours spent at her desk, the self-reflections, the meticulous questioning, revisions, and scrutiny of every word. That book holds the life of its writer.
You said Merlin used the panopticon to seek his answer. What does that have to do with my novel?
Yeah, I kind of want to know that too, yeah.
I don't get it, Aleph. Why would you use my novel to manipulate this place? Roberta, Garcia, Octavia, Pablo, the jailer, everyone. Not one of them deserved to be trapped in a deadly loop in which everyone's fate is already predestined. They're just like the ghosts in Amalfitano, inescapably trapped within the ruins. Tell me, what is it you really want?
Hearing this, the lonely prisoner fidgets with the die, looking puzzled.
It's not about what I want. It's about what you want. The third line of your first letter.
He's a mirror. He reflects you.
You said you wanted to give the rise and fall of sanity an ending.
Oh boy. Oh, and we go the flashback. Okay, so let's see what this is first. The draft of Strange Incantation. The greatest arcane skills demand thorough preparation. Have released the crystallization of countless insights. Regarding the Blurred by Waterstains ritual, a large number of arcanists. This should be an easily achievable goal for Manus Vindictae. Young people capable of lifting bricks and setting nails are plentiful. Devotion remains the best catalyst. Roar Lion's Tail. Sacred Scarab Wings. Nukateao Shells. Okay. Then combined with the Fountain of Immortality, it seems likely that the Manus Vindictae aims to achieve something extraordinary. Given the shell's property, it can withstand an immense amount of energy, ensuring the ritual's success. This is indeed an incantation requiring considerable meticulous preparation. The location, blurred by waterstains, remains an excellent choice, but for the ritual itself, timing is of paramount importance. The time referred here is not our traditional understanding, but time itself, meaning during the storm. Okay, so yeah, this is... they needed the Nukateao's shells for the incantation. The Tattered Invitation. A serpent brings an apple, but I already possess the wisdom. Damn it, scratch my eye. Okay. Dear Mr. Aleph, the National Foucault Studies Association extends a formal invitation for you to join our organization. Our mission is to guide society and the world towards a more structured and enlightened future. We believe your exceptional abilities will be instrumental in achieving this vision. We eagerly await your response. Sincerely, Jose Tartufe, Comal Prison, Ushuaia. Interesting. Okay. Aleph. The mournful, the grotesque, the sum of self and self.
Los registros históricos del Dado de Babilonia aún se pueden encontrar en la biblioteca de la Universidad Santa Teresa.
Okay.
No. Una apertura como esta haría la historia demasiado ambigua. En 1975, en el pueblo de Amalfitano, Sonora, México, ocurrió algo terrible y escalofriante en la cabaña con el techo azul. Todo comenzó con las costumbres peculiares de los Espera. ¿Cómo supe todo esto? Necesito agregar un ro para el narrador. El cuentacuentos. Un poeta surrealista de México me contó esta historia. Una anciana entró en el bar al que solía ir en el pueblo. Al mismo tiempo,
el empleado del banco también entró al bar, trayendo la noticia de que una corporación multinacional iba a construir una fábrica de jabón de galletas en Amalfitano.
Espera, empleado del banco. No sabía que había bancos en Amalfitano.
Yeah, I can definitely tell Aleph is not a natural English, Spanish-speaking person. Damn, that accent was not the best, I will say. He tried, I guess.
Pero sí, tiene sentido. Los bancos comerciales son, sin duda, un sello del capitalismo. Gracias, amigo por correspondencia. Antes de convertirse en empleado del banco, era un defensor de las antiguas costumbres del pueblo. Era un pescador de dunas.
Después de aceptar el destino otorgado por el Dado de Babilonia, eligió dejar todo atrás. El triste y aterrador pueblo y los ciclos ocultos dentro de la infinita aleatoriedad.
Oh, qué irónico. Pero también es realista. Ahora solo necesitamos un personaje contrastante. Un creyente en el destino.
Okay, this one was actually a little better.
Una anciana tejedora se sentó en su antiguo taller, girando incansablemente su rueca. un regalo precioso, otorgado por el dado de Babilonia.
La tejedora ciega relató suavemente todo lo que había vivido.
¡Qué idea brillante, Aleph! Una tejedora ciega no podría haber presenciado el asesinato. ¡Fantástico! En este caso, agregaré a un conductor de burros que es asesinado en este capítulo. Con cada una de tus sugerencias, la historia da un paso adelante. Gracias, Aleph. Pero todavía no veo ninguna señal del final. Es como si no importara cuántos personajes nuevos agreguemos. Todavía falta algo en el pueblo desértico. Le falta una figura clave.
Which figure is
Aleph.
missing?
¿Qué debo hacer? ¿Cómo le doy un final a esta historia?
Oh, there goes the bell.
Tú misma me preguntaste, ¿cómo le doy un final a esta historia? Me describiste cómo tus palabras se habían transformado en un rompecabezas desmesurado infinito, un lenguaje irreconocible, una colección de información ambigua y una parábola que había perdido todo su significado. La ausencia de un final aún te roe, atrapándote para siempre en ese abrasador pueblo desértico.
This is giving me a bit of a headache because he's talking Spanish, but like in a heavy accent. I can sort of understand what he's trying to say in Spanish, but trying to read the thing in English and hearing him speak Spanish is giving me a bit of a headache.
Todo lo que estoy haciendo es intentar encontrarlo para ti.
¿Estás diciendo que has estado manipulando los acontecimientos en el panóptico desde que intercambiamos cartas por primera vez septiembre pasado?
Yeah, her diction is a lot better, I will say. She struggles, vainly hoping for him to deny it.
Sí, cada vez que revisabas la novela, se hacían ajustes correspondientes en el panóptico. Reflejar fielmente las complejidades de cada detalle era clave para asegurar que la historia avanzara sin problemas.
God damn.
Estos ajustes los manejaba principalmente Merlin, a veces el idealista, y antes de ellos, Zahir y Paracelso.
¿Cada vez?
6 versiones de la historia del Amalfitano ya se han desarrollado en el panóptico.
Oh no.
Eso significa la rana aplastada en el barro, la vaca muriendo de vieja, el lirón cayendo al mar, el fantasma asesinado en el duelo y los cambios repentinos al dado de Babilonia. Todas las revisiones que sugeriste, todas las muertes, el caos y la locura, ¿realmente sucedieron aquí mismo?
Oh no. The ever-knowing prisoner falls into a long, dark silence. He will not answer a question when the one asking already knows the answer.
Incluso la eternidad tiene sus límites, o Recoleta.
God
In the
damn
6th
it.
revision, we added the blind weaver, an extraordinary figure, just like the paracausality researcher who carries a suitcase that you introduced in your 7th letter.
Yeah, Vertin.
The paracausality researcher carrying a suitcase.
Vertin, yeah.
Miss Recoleta, is this character really based on the Timekeeper?
What? Of course not. The paracausality researcher is an entirely different character.
Don't you understand? We are only one die roll away from the ending.
Aleph lifts the core of the infinite labyrinth. The tear of the Kamala swirls slowly in his hands.
I don't. What on earth are you trying to do?
Oh shit. Ah, damn it. The filament... Ah, stop spamming light in my face. The filament lamps in the operating... Fucking hell. Are you done? The filament lamps of the operating room dim in time with the motions. The walls ripple like water, then transform into countless mirrors. Within the mirrors, an endless stream of information appears. It's a modern computer. Seemingly possessed telephone babbles, an old radio sings, a flickering slide projector whirls and cracks, a muted film projector spins, a timetable opens, and dictionaries of countless languages flow past. A room with an exit, an eternal predicament, a prisoner's dwelling. Ah, stop that breathing, my guy, you're creeping me out.
Recoleta, it is the cycle of fate that has brought you to the Panopticon of Komala in Ushuaia. Now, return to the rise and fall of sanity. Return, and become a character once more. You've been searching for its ending. But how could you possibly find it when you're no longer inside the story? I believe that this time, you will witness the grand finale with your own two eyes. No more sadness. No more loneliness.
Shit.
The answer you've long sought lies in the inevitable final row of the die.
So, the jailer is the bank clerk, and Erd is the blind weaver. But what about Roberta, Garcia, and Octavia? They weren't even assigned roles. They were just playthings, helpless in the face of fate. What right do you or I have to decide what happens to them? To dictate their gains and losses?
You tell him, Recoleta.
But they couldn't possibly understand such a thing, could they? To you, it's just a story. But to them, it is the manifestation of bittersweet destiny.
Do you think hiding behind the guise of fiction absolves you from the reality that you've turned the Panopticon into a living hell?
Yeah, go on.
Yes. You're the only one who truly understands the rise and fall of sanity. Goodness knows how many manuscripts I sent out that never received a reply. I was so grateful to you. For your replies, for understanding my novel. Those things were more precious to me than any sunrise over the Andes. Had I known that your feedback was created in such a way, and at such a cost, I would have preferred not to receive it at all. Don't you get it? Even if they don't understand my novel, the people I meet are still my friends. Whether we took a long journey together, or we simply chatted for a few hours, we formed an inseparable, miraculous bond. They're a part of me. How could you treat them like fictional characters? It's disrespectful to my work, and to life itself.
The writer's resistance is so sharp that it cuts through Alep's carefully constructed labyrinth easily.
But you raised the question yourself. Why do you resist receiving its answer?
Some questions are better left unanswered, Aleph. He lowers his head, and for the first time, cracks appear in that indestructible mask. Oh. Ah, damn it, too bright. Oh, that's creepy.
They're always like this, aren't they? They throw a question at you, only to abandon it along with the fading of the era. This storm will spare no one. You've known it all along, Alice. Only the timeless Panopticon can maintain control. The all-seeing tower. The perfect governing system. What a hopeless fool you are, Merlin. Haven't you heard what they say? There is no need to build a labyrinth when the whole world already is one. Your meaningless questions will be swept away by the tides of time, only to resurface on the shores of our minds once more. We've seen it happen, over and over again. Surely you've realized by now that the only true meaning can be found in literature. For over a century, literature has remained the singular, ultimate answer. This lonely cowboy is simply feeling lost at the moment. Spare us your ramblings, idealist. You're wasting our time.
Enough.
God damn it. The dye that reflects the heart can no longer bear its weight, as it glows from within burning fissures. On the surrounding mirrors, countless reflections of Aleph appear, each wearing a different face. They crowd into the room as a flood of ghosts.
Aleph seems to be in a terrible state. We have to be careful. Something isn't right about that die.
That's so cool effect. The effect was so cool. Alright. Inside level 3 and we have Recoleta with us. Alright. That's a good cast. Let's go. Oh, that is so cool. Look at that monster. The monster design is so cool.
Go ahead. Keep the story going. Carry it through until we finally feel the sweet gratification of the ending.
Oh, the song. Hold on.
Your endeavors are doomed to fail. There's only madness in literature and art, not transcendentality.
What does this do? Make the ally with the highest moxie consume all their current moxie to cast an ultimate, then remove the consumed moxie. Oh, you know what? Fuck it, might as well. Let's do it last. Let's do like this. This.
This way, please.
Idealismo. Vuelos de fantasía. Do I have to do this?
A bloody handprint on broken glass. Classic.
En la acumulación de laberintos. Suéltalo todo una vez más.
It's for your sake.
Looks foolish as all hell. Bam.
En todos los momentos. Más allá del concepto mundano de camino a...
Oh look, here's another one.
Oh, I call upon you.
A truly villainous moment.
Nuestro aliado es la verdad. En la acumulación de laberintos. Suéltalo todo una vez más.
We stand together.
In the name of darkness.
The song's really bobbing, I will say.
Do that to a poor little maid.
You want me to?
Heed my prayer. Oh, I call upon you. En todos los momentos.
We'll find our home one day.
Stage 2.
Luch will foresee your rending. You're waiting. Be gone.
Oh, be careful.
Nuestro adversario es el tiempo. Your rose light the bonfire. This way, please.
Let's go.
Oh look, here's another this crunch should do.
Knock, knock. Room service. The same shadow from the same light.
We're not afraid of you.
God, that Pluto does so much damage, it's ridiculous. And
These
there he is.
explorations, these fractures, they're all failures, aren't they?
Yeah, but...
In this infinite expanse, I feel nothing but infinite sorrow.
The chaotic battle comes to an abrupt halt.
Wait, Mr. Olive? Are you human?
Oh yeah, I hadn't considered the possibility of him being an awakened. Sonetto steps backwards, lowering her glass feeder. Oh, the pen. She is shocked to realize that her opponent has no arcane skill as at all. From beginning to end, all he had was the die.
Please hand over the die peacefully.
Mr. Aleph, please stop resisting. It's futile.
Futile. Yes, it's all futile.
Or, hold on, what is... Oh, he's human! That's what they wanted.
The
Okay.
cage of rules, the ideals of literature, both are futile. Mere illusions conjured along the path to transcendentality. They all fear that they're nothing more than phantoms in someone else's dream. That reality will devour everything, including their very existence. That's why they drift further away from transcendentality. They couldn't break free from that false dream. None of them could.
I see. Aleph stumbles as he looks up at the storyteller.
Both the physician and the idealist walked toward their own destruction. Just as I expected. But your novel still has hope, Recoleta. Its ending hasn't been written yet. We cannot deny that it may be the answer to achieving transcendentality.
Okay.
You're not going to stop, are you? Not until you get your answer. Sinetto, we have no choice but to seize the die from him by force.
Sinetto's arcane energy gathers at the tip of her glass feeder. At this moment, the silent storyteller takes a step forward. Oh, she's gonna oppose us.
Enough. I said enough.
She takes her, she reveals the notebook that has never left her side. Is she gonna break it? Or destroy it? Is she gonna destroy her book? To put an end to the madness or something like that. Someone has already opened it. Perhaps the lady or perhaps the sender themselves. Dear Miss Recoleta, I have completed reading the 6th edition of The Rise and Fall of Sanity, which you enclosed in your letter dated February 8, 1991. Below are some of my personal insights and suggestions for the story direction. I believe we are nearing the conclusion, and I sincerely hope you will never lose your passion for writing. Additionally, requiring the character of the Blind Weaver, the letter remains unfinished, as it appears the correspondence encountered an unforeseen interruption. Okay, just give me a second. Alright, I'm back. I just had it was getting dark, I had to close up my curtains. Anyways, the Bond fiction. She does not hesitate. Expo and okay, 1990. Guadalajara International Book Fair. People move between bookshelves and corridors, engage in heated conversations. The air is filled with the mingling of multiple languages.
I'm afraid we can't publish your novel in its current state, Recoleta. We look forward to seeing more refined work from you in the future.
Okay, this is gonna be a bunch of rejection letters. Is that gonna be it?
Ah, Senor Cruz! What a pleasure to see you here. I'm an editor from the Naranja Dulce publishing house. Could you spare a moment to discuss the copyright for the Bluebird? We're huge fans of your children's literature.
The editor leaves, hurrying after another writer, leaving Recoleta standing alone in place. The 17th publisher to reject her today.
Hey, relax, Recoleta. Look at all the books around you. This place is heaven. You can't get down on yourself, not here. There's so many writers and publishers here. It's only natural you'd be turned down 17 times. This is just the beginning.
The young writer, attempting to forget her 17th rejection, flips through the event guide in her hands.
Now, which section should I visit next? Oh, this brochure might help.
She turns to the last page of the thick handbook, where all the invited authors and their contact details are listed.
Estupendo. An exchange of ideas between writers. Nothing could be more incredible than that. I recall James Joyce was inspired by a letter he received from Henrik Ibsen. So, maybe what I need is to find someone to share my manuscript with. But who? Tadeo Emasums. Aleph. Averroes.
Oh boy. Lima apartment in Buenos Aires. A knock at the door interrupts her daydream.
Oh, it's you, senor. Don't worry. I promise I'll catch up on the rent next month. Although I must say, this apartment's hardly worth the price. The cracks on the walls must date back to the last century.
Make all the excuses you want, Ingrid. If you don't pay the rent soon, you'll either end up in that crumbling colonial building on the corner or on the street, selling oranges at the San Telmo market. By the way, Julia told me you lost your job at the textile factory. You under some kinda can't work in one place for more than 3 months, curse or something, senorita?
Oh, you don't even want to know about the terrible things that happened in that factory. All I did was lend the oppressed workers a hand.
Oh no, what did you do?
You're just like those college kids, full of hot air. Anyway, I am not here about the rent. Didn't you tell me to watch out for your letters a while back, when you just returned from abroad? Well, here it is. A letter for you.
The girl freezes for a moment, then snatches the letter and slams the door shut, almost buzzing with excitement as she unfolds it.
Dios mío! Someone actually wrote back to me! This is incredible! Oh, thank you so much for bringing it to me, senor!
It's Elapse, right? She slits open the long, traveling letter.
Dear Miss Recoleta, it's from... let's see... Aleph.
Yeah?
Hey, I've been watching you. You're not local, are you? What are you writing?
She has a portrait.
Oh, hola. You're right. I just arrived in Buenos Aires 3 days ago. My trip's been a lot like a Copes tango performance. Full of twists and turns, but nothing much worth telling, really.
Almost they're using a lot of background assets in this one. This is the Brazil one, the last one.
I'm actually writing a reply to my pen pal. Long story short, I sent him a manuscript of my novel, and to my surprise, he actually wrote back. Amazing, isn't it? In our recent letters, we've been discussing how my novel lacks a key character to drive the story toward a decisive ending. So we've been debating whether to introduce a new ghost to act as a turning point for the story. Oh, so then you're a writer? Hey, Pancho, come over here.
Right.
I found an actual real-life writer.
Right, these are the guys with the beginning.
What's the big deal? I wrote plenty of poems in middle school.
Oh, so you're a poet. I have a feeling we're about to embark on an incredible adventure together. Are you interested in joining the visceral realism movement? Vis what? I've never heard of it, but it sounds like fun. Fabuloso. We have no time to waste. Once I finish this letter, you two must join me on a journey to Ushuaia.
Ushuaia? The end of the world? Why the heck would we go to that icebox?
Oh, don't be such a downer, Pancho. Just think of the fun we'll have, the breathtaking scenery we'll see, and the incredible stories we'll hear.
You're a bit of a romantic, I will say. I don't think there's gonna be much of anything.
Hi, Maria. I'll deal with the cold if you really want to go so badly.
By the way, could you tell us about your novel? Of course. I'll tell you all about it on the way. Now where to begin? Alright, let's start with the cottage with the blue roof in Amalfitano. It's been 6 months since we first exchanged letters. Since then, I've been traveling. First from Chile to Mexico, then from Mexico to Argentina. And I've never stopped writing. I'm not really sure what the purpose of my novel is. I just keep writing and writing. I can't stop. What power does literature hold? What responsibilities? Perhaps only by continuing to write will I understand one day.
Recoleta flips through her notebook, every turn of the page containing a different colored letter. After the long journey, the pages of these letters form a faded riddle, their handwriting long since blurred.
Aleph, you're right. I do want an ending to my novel, but not like this.
You really have no idea, do you, Recoleta?
Her only reader realizes she has still not grasped what's happening, forcing him to reveal the truth that he has long concealed.
The rise and fall of sanity is your story.
What do you mean?
You are a ghost, wandering this forsaken land, still striving to create a miracle. You
are
a wandering poet, born in Amalfitano, the foolishly brave protagonist of the story, and the embodiment of the author herself. A reflection, yes. The author, no. You are simply a figment of her imagination.
Oh,
a manifestation of her dream to wander.
So it's basically like the multiple personalities of Aleph. Oh shit!
Have you not realized it? The literary pursuits and romantic adventures you described, they are merely faded memories from 1975.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. She was talking about 1970s, right? But we are in the 90s right now, right? And she looks a lot younger than... Oh boy. Oh boy.
The poets who joined the visceral realism movement with you left Latin America long ago.
Faded memories.
As for the novel, it's yours now. A story you're writing. A story about yourself. Your departure has turned Amalfitano into a ghost town. The characters have lost their connection to you. They're gradually fading away. If the novel is destroyed, you too will cease to exist.
Wait. This is... Miss Recoleta? Is what he said true?
I know you never lie, pen pal. In your first letter, you told me that a character's role in Fate must be determined from the outset and consistently adhered to throughout the story. Reading the perspective and insights of a walking encyclopedia, having such a person be willing to share their thoughts at all, was an exhilarating experience. I had never imagined my novel could develop in this way. Words could hardly describe how I felt in that moment. No one but you has ever understood the story of that town, let alone offered any revisions. Following your advice, I added the bank clerk, the dune pescator, the blind weaver, and the murdered donkey driver. Amalfitano was no longer an empty town with a single blue-roofed cottage. The new ghostly residents had begun to fill the skies over it.
Oh no.
The story was finally reaching completion. I could feel that the ending was within reach. I became increasingly eager to meet my pen pal. I couldn't get the thought out of my mind. I wasn't sure what I would say to this Aleph. A simple thank you, perhaps, or maybe a discussion about the future of Amalfitano with its sole reader. Or maybe I'm no different from everyone else. Led up the garden path by fate. But even if I am a ghost, as you say, an incarnation of someone else, a fictional being, so what? My resolve will not waver, even if my existence is bound to fade away, because this isn't what literature is supposed to be. You once told me there isn't an ounce of reality in fiction, only voids and glorified lies. Let me tell you this. Whether real or fictional, corporeal or intangible, I have accepted my existence. Now, let's put a stop to this, Aleph.
Oh man, that is... Oh,
The
she
inmates
is doing
aren't
it.
characters in my novel. They're people trapped in a prison, just as you are. By
He's actually doing
simulating my
it.
story here, you have made me into some kind of god, a guilty, false creator, a dictator of fate. I never wanted any of this.
Jesus. Amalfitano. Oh man.
A bold
Fighting
attempt.
ghosts. Huh.
¡Lo veo! ¡La frecuencia perfecta! ¡La admirable aleatoriedad del destino! Creo que lo he encontrado. La fuente del dado de Babilonia.
Las deudas de los muertos. Esas facturas. Todas han sido hechas cenizas. ¡Ya no estoy atrapado!
Desde el día en que perdí la vista, nunca imaginé que la rueda giratoria volviera a girar.
Damn.
Más allá del concepto...
Oh wait, no, it's
En
just
todos
debuff
los,
first, yep.
más allá del concepto mundano del tiempo, en todos los momentos. This way, please.
A truly villainous moment.
Do I have to do this? Cosmología, filosofía clásica, el fundamento, la acumulación de laberintos. Suéltalo todo una vez más. A real troublemaker of a guest, aren't you? El camino a my child. This way, please, my child. En la acumulación de laberintos. Suéltalo todo una vez más. You're waiting.
I didn't see them dodge.
At your service.
That's alright, they're dead anyways.
Keep calm, please.
Not a fan of my work, I take it?
Más allá del this way, please. Oh, heed my prayer. Idealismo. Vuelos de fantasía. Patronos ocultos. Troublemaker of a guest, aren't you?
And the ghosts are freed. Shattering words and ghostly illusions roar forth, breaking free from the story's structure and the gaps between its lines, filled with regret and obsession. Torn letters and book pages flutter in the air like snow in a crystal globe on the winter night. Everything is quiet.
Huh? Miss Recoleta has vanished.
Did she actually die?
Did she really cease to exist like Aleph said?
Recoleta.
Holy hell. I was not expecting that. Ghosts of the past. Oh boy. Book Fair Guide, a great marketplace of ideas and knowledge. A B section Works Guide. The Bluebird, Watson, Cruise, Children's Literature. Editor's Review, a children's book, but not just for children. Viewing the world from a different perspective reveals an entirely new reality. Fox Between the Sky, Tadeo. Social Literature, Editor's Review. A classic intellectual autobiography, offering profound reflections on the nature of time. Free. Blood Monster Avodeos Horror Fiction, Editor's Review. Undoubtedly the finest work about vampiric creatures of the century. A 300-year tale of immortality, jealousy, and humanity. And there are the contacts of everyone. Alright. Now, according to this... Oh shit. According to this, I mean... There's gonna be at least one more fight scene. So we're gonna finish it next time. Alright everyone, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time for what should be the ending of chapter 9 in Reverse 1999. Ciao.